Imagine drinking a cold can of Coca-Cola soda on a hot summer's day. It's refreshing, right? That one can takes up to 500 years for the earth to fully decompose. Now imagine a case of soda. In 2005, the Coca-Cola companies reported that they sold over 26 billion cases of soda, according to the Coca-Cola stock analysis of June 2010. Luckily, aluminum is 100% recyclable. That means that whatever goes into that recycling bin comes back out onto your shelf within 60 to 90 days as a new product. Good evening, class. My name is Christina Williams, and I'm going to be persuading you on the need to recycle and have stricter laws regarding it in our communities by talking about the impact garbage has on our environment locally and globally. I'll be the first to admit that recycling has not always been an easy task for me. You don't have the time, you don't have the bins, you don't know what can be recycled. It can become a hardship. But nonetheless, it's something that needs to be done. Maybe you or someone you know has the same type of struggle. The need to recycle is growing every day, and the impacts are clear when we walk down a littered street full of bottles, cans, everything that could be turned into new products. Or even you thought, what can one person do to make such an impact on a community full of thousands of people working against you? What we do can and does have an effect on our environment. It's no secret that the world is expanding every day and more waste is created. And those wastes end up in landfills that are mountains high, looking to be decomposed by the earth, which isn't going to happen without help. It's said that the New York City residents, on average, create enough waste and garbage to fill the Empire State Building up every single day. Tonight, I'd like to talk to you about the need for recycling, why it's important. Secondly, how you can help. And lastly, why there needs to be stricter policies regarding recycling in our buildings, schools, and workplaces. First, I'll begin by telling you why recycling is important. Recycling helps us to convert products to prevent waste and raw materials from ending up in landfills, and also to reduce the consumption of those raw materials, such as trees, which create wood, which go to paper, and plastic bottles made from oil that go back into the ocean to pollute it. The United States Environmental Protection Agency diverted 82 million tons of materials away from landfills and incinerators in 2006 alone. The problem is the lack of reinforcements in workplaces, public housing, and our buildings, not reinforcing the idea to recycle by having the proper bins. Huge amounts of energy is used when making products from raw materials. Recycling requires less energy, therefore helping the environment to stay green. The biggest source of marine pollution comes from the land. There are harmful greenhouse gases that are let off from the rubbish from these landfills that get into the air and affect our physical being. Also, habitat deconstruction and global warming are some side effects. The reason is there needs to be stricter policies. Recycling, reinforcements, and the spaces in landfills are filling up alarmingly fast, according to an article published in Guide United Kingdom 2016. But you can choose to make a difference in your everyday life and start small. It is important because the natural resources in our world are limited, and if we're constantly hacking at it, we won't have them for future generations. So we must reduce, reuse, and recycle whenever we can. It will significantly lower the waste for future generations. And not only is this a problem locally, but it's a problem globally. which is why we must do something today. Currently, the average New Yorker throws away 25 pounds of raw garbage a week. 16 pounds of it goes towards our home garbage, and 9 pounds starts with our garbage at work and school, according to the Commissioner of Sanitation, Catherine Garcia. The sad part is more waste is ending up in these landfills, making it harder for the earth to decompose. It takes longer for the earth, and disposable diapers, if you didn't know, takes up to 500 years to fully decompose into the earth. Now, if you know babies use more than one diaper in their lifetime. On average, 18 billion disposable diapers are created and thrown away annually. So who is affected? Everyone is literally affected by this. Last week, a sperm whale in Indonesia washed up on the beach. It had 115 plastic cups in its mouth, 85 plastic bags, and as you can see, a lot more garbage that was found. We can start by educating ourselves on what items can and can't be recycled, making it easier for us to separate it from our daily trash. Also, we can start by picking out bins that are available at Target or Walmart for cheap prices that could be mailed right to your door, so you don't have to walk around with it. Also, you can check your building to see if there are signs and bins available to separate the recyclables. In conclusion, I talked to you today about why we should recycle, the importance of recycling, and what we can do in our environment to recycle. If it wasn't for recycling, landfills would overflow. Imagine if New York City stopped recycling because we thought that one person couldn't make a difference. We would basically be living in a landfill like in medieval times. I'd like to leave you with the thought: no thing is ever thrown away. It goes somewhere. Where it goes, it ends up in our oceans, back into our air that we breathe. Andy Arthur, editor of News Service 2015, stated that one drip from a leaky faucet, on average a year, wastes 540 gallons of water. If you never considered recycling, now's the time to start small. Recycling is the right thing to do for our community and world. So please make the decision to reuse that plastic water bottle that's now empty, and take advantage of the water fountains in our schools that tell you how many bottles it saves from that day. We aren't doing enough to take care of our planet, and eventually we will see the repercussions of this, which is why we should start recycling today. Thank you. My name is Christina Williams.